Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to a fun-filled special edition of the Crypto Maniacs podcast. It will end up being the Crypto Poop Show here in a bit, but Nifty is indisposed. He'll be here shortly, and we're still trying to find Eric. Eric was all gung-ho today. He was like, let's do it. We're ready to go, ready to rock. We don't know where Eric is now. He may be lost.
He's been a little under the weather, and I think Nifty's on a booze run. I think he's out. Yeah, he went to the package store.
The package store. Gotcha.
As
So,
they say up in Mass.
unfortunately, you guys are going to have to deal with just Task and I for the little while we await the special guests. This is a little early for them, though. Usually they go.
Yeah,
later, right?
they usually run their show, I think, about 9 my time, so about an hour later.
Right.
But I know Eric's been battling something. He's been a little ill, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
If nobody shows up, then it'll just be us.
That's fine. That's okay. Hello, Eliana. Hello, Tokenized. Welcome. This is streaming for your viewing pleasure. Pleasure is
Streaming on Leo.
It's streaming on Leo. Look at that.
It's right in the Threadcast there.
I know. I sent that to you nice and early so we could put it up there.
Yes, you did.
And that's the answer One Alpha's question about, where is this streaming? You don't even have to leave the Threadcast. We will get it updated, and you can tune in and you can listen to us. And
you know what, Jungo, you should, because people on mobile seem to have a problem. So maybe you want to throw it in the Threadcast in the comment section. Throw the code there too.
The code or the link? Just the link, or
I would just throw the code. I would just throw the code in there, but
yeah,
because the link doesn't always show up. There's something with the UI. YouTube links don't always show up, but either way.
Okay. Well, I'll stick it in there now. We're starting the show off with a bang. We already have a fun little question. I thought I'd bring it up before these guys. We could have some fun before they get here. Does it sound good? Well,
sure.
We'll have some fun. Forex Broker wants to know his question for the panel. When I rage quit Hive, should I announce my full power down on Discord, Twitter, or on chain? Thank you. I'll hang up and listen. Perfect.
Absolutely. And I would add to that Facebook, Instagram, and go on CNN. Yeah.
Perfect.
And make sure you do at least 5 blog posts on Hive.
Did someone say they were rage quitting Hive?
I don't know what instigated the question. I don't know if he came across somebody who said it. I don't know, but it does drive home a point. If you're gonna leave, just fucking leave. I mean, are you that insecure and in that much even?
I'm
leaving, guys. You can't go on without me. It's like
I want everyone to keep me here. Like, let me know I'm appreciated.
I mean, I never left the bar saying I'm leaving, guys. I mean, I was asked to leave a few of them, and
right, yeah.
I actually announced I didn't want to leave and I wanted to stay in, but the big guys with the muscles had other options on that.
Speaking of big guys with muscles,
quitting.
Are you rage quitting, Nifty, or you're good to go? He's still playing with settings. Yeah, he's still playing with settings. It's okay. We'll get this figured out. Private chat. Yo. Oh, look at that. Oh, I know what he's doing. He's playing with stream. There you go. I hear you. He's playing with stream. You guys are used to that restream stuff, man. You hear us? You good? All right.
Yo. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Sorry for being late, guys. I had some stuff I was working on, so I'm here.
We know you were at the liquor store loading up.
Well, it's beer 30. So
beer 30.
So somebody stole Eric, though. We can't find him.
Yeah, no, he said he's hopping on right now. What is?
Is he? Oh,
okay. They were dedicated, man. They know they were fine. It was just we're just.
Man. Our show starts at 9 usually, and,
by
9:45 we're ready to go usually. Yeah. The first 30 minutes is just us figuring out audio. It's become a staple in the show.
You follow the cow theory of time.
Oh yeah. Are we live now, by the way?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
We already took a question.
Yeah, so I'll repeat it for you, man, if you want to hear it. This is from good friend Forex Broker. He wants to know, when I rage quit Hive, should I announce my full power down on Discord, Twitter, or here on Chain? Thank you. I'll hang up and listen now.
Well, obviously you have to announce it in Discord. That's like number one. And then you have to write a full post about it. And you have to share that on Twitter. I think that's the proper quiticate.
Just one post? I think you need to go multiple posts.
Yeah, you write a whole saga about why. Make it a three-part. Really string them along. Milk those rewards while you're on your way out.
I love it.
That's funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as I said, Jungle, I don't know if something stimulated that question, if there was somebody who went on a rage quit.
He said it was the Leo Discord. Apparently in Leo Discord, everyone's saying they're rage quitting every day. So
see, as much as I spend time there, it's kind of devolved, at least in general chat, a little bit, and it's gotten quite depressing sometimes, the things people say in there. So I work on my tech support tickets, and that's about it. I say GM every now and then. I don't get in the drama.
So there was a question on Threads today. Did you see that? Like, who was it? It was Alex Rourke asked DeHagen and Bernie Sanders, does anyone know what happened? I'm like, do we have to talk about it?
Oh, no.
Well, Eric will tell us all about it.
A wild Eric has appeared.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Awesome. Sorry for the delay. Just what the hell is happening?
It's okay. You're caught in the matrix, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
While Eric's getting set up and getting settled in, Nifty, why don't we take care of a little business? And you've been working on some town hall servers, and why don't you give everybody an update as to what you're doing with them, just so people are kept abreast of what's going on?
Well, this isn't like official town hall stuff, but since we're here, so I'm going to be doing some testing for wrapped Bitcoin on Hive with Vaultec, of course. VSC seems to be coming along well. There's been 2 major updates in the past, I think, 2 weeks, roughly. Everything is running smooth as far as I can tell, but we're gearing up to do some testing for wrapped Bitcoin on Hive. It'll be a very, MVP, minimum viable product. It'll work. So once we've got testing done, I think we're all good. I don't know who all is going to be testing, but I went ahead and was like, hey man, if you need some help, let me know. And so I'm just waiting on the next steps for that. Pretty excited about it. I think that's gonna be a complete game changer once it's live. Then Hive kind of becomes a payment rail for Bitcoin as well, which is pretty amazing. So super excited to test that. And then, of course, when VSC goes to testnet, we'll be, of course, running a node for that as well. And I don't think it's going to use the same infrastructure. I think it's going to be kind of rewritten because this is more of a dev environment, as far as I know. So once we're in testnet, we're off to the races. Then it's just break everything and try to find the bugs, But nothing too exciting. You made it sound like I had some amazing announcement. A bunch of nerdy stuff is what's going on. Bunch of techie nerdy stuff.
Hey, before we get to play, you techie nerdy stuff people have to do your stuff. So we know the order of how things unfold.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. As far as, it's obviously going to be minimal just to see if things work. But there will be I want to say he said there will be actual Bitcoin proofs in the transactions that'll be used to verify and stuff like that. So pretty excited to see that.
Cool.
I like it. I like it.
I want to apologize for my camera. I have no idea what's happening, but I hope it doesn't break the video.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're trapped in the matrix like Andrew Tate's what's happening. You got to break out of the matrix, man.
Really
I thought it was just my eyes.
Task hadn't had enough coffee. That's all it is. It's affecting everybody.
He's drinking enough for all of us.
So before we randomly appeared, what were we talking about? Did we miss anything important?
Yeah.
No, Django just read the Forex broker question. He asked it to me that he just asked you. So that's the only thing we had really done.
Yeah, we need to know the proper steps to rage quit Hive. It's very important because apparently.
Eric, can you give us a breakdown? What does that process look like since we're here?
The process of what?
Rage quitting Hive.
Oh.
Forex wants to know if you announce it on chain, if you do it in a Discord server somewhere, you put it on Twitter, like how is the process? What is the process for rage quitting?
It's actually pretty easy. So the first thing you have to decide
it's like I've been thinking about this a long time.
Yeah. No. So here's the thing. So whenever you post anything online, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, you're putting yourself at the mercy of the audience, and you are actually telling people, hey, you have to make me accountable. So I have seen a lot of people quit Hive and then come back 3 months later because you can't really rage quit Hive unless you use Hive as a job and the job stops paying you. So you really have to move on. But if you use Hive because you like it, and then you'd say, oh, fuck this ecosystem, I hate it. It's so bad. The whales suck. Whatever, things like that. Like if you're rage quitting, exactly. If you're rage quitting because you don't like something, but you don't need Hive, you've been using it for years because you like it, then you're never leaving. So I would say don't make an announcement. Just leave by yourself and then come back 3 months later. Nobody will bat an eye because you didn't tell anyone that you rage quit. So I mean that's just
that's like the Homer Simpson. You just disappear into the bush.
Yeah.
You just appear out of the bush and you're like, I've never left.
Exactly. You can just say, oh, I was a business trip. I was renovating the kitchen or something.
I was in the shower.
Yeah. But this brings up
long COVID.
This brings up the next question though. When you come back, see if you rage quit, when you come back, you can do the article and do the post and say, I'm back. Under Eric's scenario, can you do the I'm back, did you miss me guys post? Or is that not allowed if you just kind of drift away?
Ooh. That's a hot question right there.
Good question.
Well, I have spent I think in 3 different times in my Hive life, I had to stop posting for like a month or a month and a half, not because I rage quit, but because I just didn't have the time, the drive, and the material, like the content stuff to write about. So I just stopped writing, and then when I came back, I was like, yo, I never left. I was just too busy painting houses. And but it was, I didn't rage quit. Like one time was because I was in Berlin and I literally didn't have a space to write in. I was living in a hostel and I was actively searching for jobs there. And I was actively searching for universities for my master's. And at the same time, I was taking German lessons. I was sleeping like 5 hours a day. It was impossible. So I left Hive, but because I just didn't have the time. So when I had the time again, I was like, yo, I'm back. But I didn't rage quit.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yes.
Exactly.
Reintroduction
Good
post.
reference. Good reference, Nifty.
Yeah.
Good reference. I know that. I know that.
Oh man, that's
Show
a
me.
fun topic. I hate that it got brought up, but it's pretty fun.
But wait, Forex brokers rage quitting or
No. Yeah.
I don't-
Let's go. No.
Pump the brakes. If you're
Yeah.
rage quitting, do you ask people how to rage quit first?
No, if
Is
you're
he
gonna
rage
rage
quitting
quit,
right now?
you got to do
Is
it
it happening?
right.
exactly? I mean, some people in Reddit they just ask, "Hey, I am leaving my wife. What's the worst way to do it?" Like that. I mean,
Asking people on Reddit's probably a good start
Ask
on
Reddit
the
is
path
my
to
favorite.
worst way to do it.
There's some gold nuggets on Ask Reddit, man. There's and shitty life pro tips. Such a good subreddit.
Oh wow. Oh
it
yes,
so
folks.
actually is.
Welcome to the show. It's filled with number 2. Right?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try to keep it clean.
No. I mean, it's like this is what it's called. Yeah, no, Threadcast is going great. People are wondering if they're drunk already, or because Eric's.
Wait, people
camera
are
is-
wondering if who's drunk. The people writing the comments
No,
are wondering if
watching
they're drunk,
this.
or the
They're-
people on air.
Dude, they're tokenized is way past us now.
Well,
Like, I mean, he's-
Tokenized probably started drinking at 10 a.m. I mean, the guy
that's fair.
drinks all the time.
That's fair.
I'm
That's
with Tokenized Society though. He says we should announce every activity on chain. Like for example, right now I'm opening a beer. Absolutely,
Oh,
every single action.
That's why threads
Think of it?
exist.
Well,
hey,
gotta let us
that was
gotta
that
let
was.
the people know.
You guys remember when Twitter first started? It was like, "What are you doing?" I'm eating food. What are you doing? I'm using the washroom. What are you doing? I'm putting on my shoe. I mean, that's where we got to go. We got to go back to that. I like it.
Yeah, that's one
do
way to
it.
get transactions up.
That's
I'm
true.
walking to the kitchen now.
Yeah.
Nothing in the fridge.
Making
Again.
a sandwich.
Stuck in the dryer again. Don't take advantage of me. Yeah. I would have hated if that happened.
The dog's humping my leg, and I'm not kicking it off.
Wow.
I mean, if you think about it, Twitter started pretty much like that. Like, really, you would just go and say, "Oh, if roses were red, then I would love you," and shit like that. And right now, it's just like people use it to publish. Okay, so here's my theory on
Here's my
the
fucking
the gravity
novel.
properties and the string theory and the black holes, and here's a 17-hour thread of things evolve like that.
Well,
it's actually pretty weird.
Facebook too. You remember when Facebook was like, and this is I don't use Facebook anymore, but back when it was like popular and you had to have Facebook or you were like not cool. It said something along the lines of your name, something, 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 and you had to fill it in, or your name likes this.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me.
Yes,
So
I do
weird.
remember that.
The Facebook pokes. That was
Yeah,
classic
and
stuff,
you would
yes.
poke people.
Dude, I got poked the other day on Facebook. I was like, what are you doing?
Why don't we have pokes on Hive? If we want to get
why not?
transactions, let's bring pokes back.
Yeah.
I'm even afraid to ask what the fuck a poke is.
No one knows.
No, it was literally one of the first things you could do on Facebook, other than like friend someone.
Dude, I never
You could
used
poke them.
Facebook. I never used Twitter till you guys got me on Twitter. Nathan Mars got me on Twitter to promote Hive on Twitter. I mean, I was on Twitter
Dude,
till then.
where in the world?
Let's
is
take it
Nathan
even
Mars?
further back. What about MySpace when Tom Anderson was everybody's best friend?
Everyone's friend, man. As soon as you joined, Tom was your buddy, man. He
Immediately.
was your homie. Yeah.
I
like
wasn't
it.
a MySpace guy. I was a
Oh,
High
I
Five.
hated it. Oh, I hated MySpace. It was just
High Five was pretty good. Like
What was
that's
that?
old. Friendster.
Friendster?
and
I don't know
High
that
Five.
one.
I
that
didn't
was-
get to Friendster.
That was the first one. That was before MySpace, just before MySpace, and then MySpace kind of killed it.
Stumble upon, John goes, stumble upon.
Oh god, the greatest thing ever
MySpace.
created that people don't
Yeah,
understand
Stumble
yet.
Upon was awesome. But
Is that a gay
MySpace
site?
killed all these other platforms because it had music. You know?
Oh, MySpace had music, right? That was the thing. You'd put the
killed all these other
MP3s on the
MySpace
wall. Yeah.
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 You could have like a playlist on your profile.
Right.
And that was back then, that was the coolest shit. You know,
Right.
I was like, oh, come listen to my top 5 songs while you browse my profile.
I'm making a mixtape for this girl. She's gonna dig it.
And then you got the HTML code that makes all the weird shit happen when people get to your profile. It was a different time.
Yeah, but it was pretty like it was a great way, like before the kidnappings and all of that. Like it was a great way for people to get to know you. You know, like they could get to know everything about you, and then I mean, obviously, people used it for wrongdoing
before the kidnapping.
Before you had to kidnap people to get them to talk to you, you could go to MySpace.
But no, like you could know if someone was going to a game on Saturday, or if they were going like all of their interests, all of their hobbies, everything about them. And then if you found out their number, you could like their mom's number, you could be like, oh, yo, we have Timmy, the Timmy who plays soccer every Wednesday at 5. Yes, we have that guy. So mom would obviously believe that.
Did he say soccer or hooker? It sounded like he said hooker.
I speak Mexican, so you can interpret whatever you want.
I'm working on my Mexican. Got it on Duolingo not too long ago.
Oh, not Babbel? No?
It's separate from the Spanish part.
Yes. You like the Mexican part is like the level 2.
Level 2, yeah.
Like
that's funny.
I mean, level 1 has like 1.731, but yeah.
A serious question for you, Eric. Are there a lot of dialects in Mexico?
So there's one Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, I mean, Mexico, it's big. It's probably like before you guys stole all of Texas and Arizona and all of that, we were bigger. But right now you are bigger. But right now, I think we are like half of the territory of the U.S. But even if you speak Spanish in one side, you can speak the same in the other side. The thing is, indigenous dialects, there are, I don't know, I'm just going to pull a number off my ass, but I would say 30, maybe 40. Like there are a lot, but all of them are on the verge of going extinct. Of course, you have like the cultural embassy or the Ministry of Culture that tries to what's the word? Like to preserve the heritage. But there's not a lot of people speaking them, and the problem is it's most of them are just passed through word of mouth, you could say. So there's not a lot of written history of the language. So yes, there are a lot, but most of them, if not all, are at risk of disappearing in the next 50, 100 years. I don't know.
Wow. I just love that you started that with before you guys stole Texas.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Well, he also put Arizona in there, but he
hilarious.
did skip New Mexico. I guess we can keep New Mexico.
Well, there's nothing there. Of course we can.
Exactly. That's why he says you guys keep it. We don't want that back.
There's supposedly aliens there, but now there's aliens everywhere.
Yes, that's true.
Dude, I really thought that you would bring up aliens like a little bit later.
Well, you know, you brought up New Mexico, the alien hub.
I'm not really sure what was the territory.
Roswell, New Mexico, wasn't it?
Roswell, but then there's Area 52 in Nevada. So it's like,
right.
Which is the kingdom of the aliens? Is it Nevada? Is it New Mexico? Which is it? If you had to pick, what would you say?
Delaware.
I like it. Washington, D.C., actually.
100%.
They're all lizard
Joe
people.
Biden's an alien. Just look at him.
Yeah.
Well, he's a decrepit alien that needs to be in hospice.
or
Do
the
they have
U.S.
that in
Senate,
space?
or the U.S. Senate, which is really hospice, but they're paid a lot of money.
Yeah, they put all these old fucks there to die anyway. It's fine.
Dianne Feinstein, you think he's kidding? I mean, she literally just died after 40 years in office at 90 or something.
Nuts.
I love it.
Nuts.
So
Is
what's been going
Tokenized
on,
still
guys?
awake, or did he pass out?
Who? Sorry?
Tokenized.
Oh, they're there. Everyone's there. Dude, it's going crazy. Sunseek is in there. Tokenized 4 minutes ago. A sentence that are confusing when out of context. It was really good before the kidnapping. That's
I love that.
Tokenized.
I love that.
Yeah.
Of course, the follow-up is it was great after the kidnapping. So now you kind of frame it and develop your own plot.
It could even be a good pickup line. Depends how you're picking them up, but it could be.
Or it depends if they really suffer from Stockholm syndrome.
Oh man,
If that's
this
on
went
their
way off the
profile,
rails real
man,
quick. Welcome to the
Oh,
shit
dude,
show.
yeah, I don't even know if it'll go on the rails. You said payment rail, and that's kind of where we went with this.
I
kinda,
did.
right? Yeah.
I said something smart.
Well, I mean, that's why Eric brought up hookers.
Oh man.
Dude,
Hey, can I
go ahead.
can I stir the pot a little?
Let's do it.
Stir the pot. So yesterday I'm driving and I had to go a couple 100 miles to where I'm dropping off, which gave me plenty of time to listen to Chain Chatter, which was a couple of you guys were on it. I really was taken back by I think you brought it up, Eric. It was you or maybe Addicted brought it up, or even Cal might have brought it up. The rumblings
I think it was Cal.
Well, we know that the
Cal.
powers that be talk about removing rewards, which is first of all one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in my life. But the next dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life is that they want to take, and I'd love to know who they are, but taking away the social aspects of Hive. And Eric, you said it perfectly. I mean, you're just like, you take that away, you basically you kill the soul of Hive. You
kill the platform.
Well, nobody said take it away. I think somebody asked, or maybe Addicted asked, will we move away from the social side? It wasn't that it was
something along the lines of that. Yeah,
I think it was a question from the Threadcast, and it went along the lines of everyone's speaking about the financial tools, the tech, blah blah blah. So is all of this becoming more important on Hive? And does this mean that we are moving away from the social side? And then that's why Cal brought it up, and then that's why we all chipped in. But I don't. Okay, sorry, John. But Cal interrupts as well. So Task interrupted you, and then I interrupted Task, and then I'm just rambling now. But yes, so there's no.
So the floor is yours. Answer the damn question.
There are no talks by the Apple Jews who want to remove the social side of Hive. It's it was just a question, and I think it was from Tokenized Society. But yes, let's
blame Tokenized then. I like it.
Yeah. He's drunk. He won't even remember.
No, that's fine.
But I had the same reaction. I mean, I was listening and I was like, this is a really, really weird thing to talk about. Not because, it shouldn't be talked about. Maybe things should. Just like the rewards pool thing. Maybe it should be a conversation. Who knows? I'm not an expert. But I was like, the whole removing the social aspect or moving away from the social aspect is just, it goes against the whole narrative that it's community first, right? So I don't know.
And I would add that it goes away from Web3. I mean, we're looking at the merchant of social media and finance all over the place anyway. So
that's what Web3 is.
To separate them, I mean, that's why I think Hive, in my opinion, is actually leading the charge into this, because you have blockchain, which by its nature is a distributed ledger, which is financial. It adds the text storage, We have cryptocurrency. We have two coins on our base layer, plus all the layer twos, plus the apps. And people can use whatever they want. And as most of us do, some of us are in gaming, but we're also using social, and we're also using the finance. You get rewards, you pay server bills, you do whatever with the coins that are here. Swap them for others, pay your premium membership, all kinds of good stuff.
And that makes me think about, we talk about this all the time, that we have a large amount of users in areas that they rely on crypto as a lifeboat. Like Sunseeker was saying the other day on our show, like, crypto is their lifeboat in Venezuela. And, right. Taking away the social rewards aspect would put a lot of people in really bad situations. So there's another side of it.
I mean,
the solution is $1 Leo. That's the solution.
$1 Leo.
But here's a hot take. So the blockchain doesn't care who depends on the rewards.
Sure.
So the blockchain doesn't care that if someone doesn't get post rewards, they will not buy food for that week, or if I don't get post rewards, I will not get gasoline for the car. The ones who care are the people that make the blockchain what it is, the community. And I just want to say something that it's like my opinion, my personal opinion, and what I'm going to speak about from a personal point of view in the next town hall is, if we remove the reward pool, I don't care about the people that live off of Hive. Like, yes, it's good that they do it, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at it as a business, if you look at it as something that is groundbreaking, we are the only blockchain that distributes tokens through a proof of brain that can be opposed. Some blockchains have a proof of brain that is solve this mathematical equation through a bot, and then you get a little bit of tokens. But we have that social aspect. And the thing that is broken on Hive is not the way that we distribute that amount of tokens to the community who deserve it because of their proof of brain action, or their value for value action. They provide value somehow, and then the blockchain, through the votes and through the community, they give something back. But if we get rid of this, we are no longer the groundbreaking blockchain that allows content like three speak, like Leo threads, and then in Leo content, pick D, whatever, all of this content, the rewards could go to the layer 2, but we are not ready. If we were to remove the rewards from the layer 1, we would need one to stop rewarding witnesses, because there's no fairness and no justice in removing rewards for the 99% of the population, but leaving that for the 1%. And we are a witness, and we are a top 32 witness, so we are getting good rewards, right? So,
sound real nice if it was top 30. I'm just saying.
I know that was good, man. You were about to say top 30, and then he almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have a vote. Throw it our way, town hall.
But that is the thing. If we want to get rid of the rewards for the community, we have to get rid of the rewards for the witnesses. It's not fair for some people to get, and yes, of course, we're running the blocks and blah, blah, blah. But then we would have to shrink whatever the witnesses are earning. I think we're earning like 1,500 Hive per month. We would need to earn 15.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
There cannot be such unfairness.
The witnesses just, being mega whales.
Yeah. Like if you really want to get rid of the inflation, which is stupid in my opinion, then do it for everyone, not just for the community. So,
yeah, hot take.
Yeah. And I did ramble a little bit, but I'm still brain foggy and a little feverish. I missed my first point. Okay. the blockchain doesn't care about the rewards and who depends on them, but that's exactly what defines us and what differentiates us from other blockchains. Like, you can name any other blockchain that is not a cheap piece of shit like Steam, and like Hive is different than any other. So if you get rid of that, okay, get rid of it. Stop rewarding all the block producers and find somehow different to give the token utility, because in the end, having Hive, it's the governance token, and you either decide on governance or on reward pool allocation. Okay, you take this out, and then the only utility is really governance.
Right.
But do people really want to buy a token just for governance? Because you are also getting rid of the curation rewards, not just the post rewards. So if I'm not getting that 12% APR from my curation rewards, why do I hold Hive? Really? To decide which of the 30 projects up there receive a DHF budget? I mean, most of them will. So do I really want to power up 2 million Hive to do that? We cannot get rid of the content rewards. It would break Hive. It would break governance. It would break the utility of holding Hive.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. I have gotten a lot of messages for my hot take, so like
it's okay.
in the past. So
good. It's good. Seems to be echoed in Threadcast right now. Forex Broker says right now the social apps are the best way to distribute the token. I remember Task asking that. It was it might have been an AMA or something a couple weeks back.
Yeah,
and he's like,
it was.
How do you deal with governance? Like all these brilliant ideas about taking away token distribution. How are you going to deal with governance then? Like,
how are you going to deal with access?
Yeah.
How does a new person get the access to use the blockchain? Because
unless you got to buy it, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to buy it. Well, now you're Ethereum.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You want to
download MetaMask. Get ready.
I love MetaMask.
Uninstall Keychain. Go get MetaMask.
I mean, all these other chains. It's exactly what Eric was saying. If you want the base layer coin, you have to go buy it or run infrastructure. Which for most running infrastructure, forget on Hive. I mean, try to doing it on Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of that.
Oh, yeah.
So your only option is to go buy it. Well, you just excluded 95% of the planet because they don't have any money to buy anything, let alone Hive. You know, and that includes most of the developed world. So,
and here's another take. The moment there is some, okay, so for example, Elmer Lin, he bought 3 million Hive, or he spent $3 million in the Hive that he has. Can't remember, but okay, so you spend money and then you have this idea. I'm not saying that the social aspect will be the only aspect for people to earn, but you need a reward pool for that. So it doesn't matter if it's social or if it's, let's just say that we come up with an idea to create an AI that can solve very difficult captchas, right? And then for every user that helps us train that AI, but by solving a different captcha, we just give them a 5-cent vote. And we buy 1 million Hive for that. And we use the reward pool for that. And then each proof of captcha, you voted for 5 cents. Then you're not voting content, you're voting value. Because they are giving you value, they are giving us value to train our AI, and at the same time, we bought Hive to have a say with the reward pool and say, okay, here's 5 cents from my allocated resources for you. And then you could have different companies doing the same. So let's say, okay, I want to test this game. So test it, I'm gonna buy Hive, test it, and whoever gives me alpha or finds bugs, I will vote you. I don't care about your content. Just give me the bugs, and I will vote whatever you post, because I am deciding. That's why downvotes are stupid as well. Because if I buy Hive, I don't care if the user doesn't post quality, because I care what the user is bringing to the table for me. If I'm asking them, hey, I'm doing a research on size of sheds, upload your shed and I will vote you with $10, because I need to know how sheds look in Mexico, in the US, in Thailand. So I'm gonna vote with $10 whoever uploads your piece of shed, right?
And we now know who Bernie is.
Exactly, it's me. But that's the thing.
Knew it.
If I'm buying hype for that, and then someone else downvotes that because they don't agree with the rewards, then I'm gonna be like, dude, what the hell? I'm buying hype so I can have a say with the allocation, because I need that. That's value for me. Who are you to say that that's not value for you? I'm just gonna power down and just say, you know what? Fuck it. Like, why
Rage
am
quit.
I powering up? Yeah,
Rage quit.
but I mean, it makes sense. Like Nifty, just imagine that you have a project and you need feedback, and you buy Hive to reward these feedback givers, and then someone else just comes and says, "Oh, that feedback is not enough for this for me." I don't care if that person says it's good for him, and then they remove the rewards from, like, doesn't make sense. Downvotes, I would 100% say we need to get rid of them. If someone says this has value, who are you to say it doesn't has value?
There you go.
That's been the fight
If
for
99% of the
years.
people think something deserves value and you don't, who the fuck are you to say they can't have that value?
Exactly.
You're not the police,
Like, your say should be into what gets value, not what gets taken value from. Because someone else is saying this deserves value. I have 10 peanuts to give a day. So here's your peanut. I bought Hive. I spent money to be able to give you a peanut, Nifty. Why would someone else should say no, Nifty doesn't deserve it and take it back?
Yeah. I'll take my peanuts. That's
Oh,
rude.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and yes, there will be abuse.
Moral of the story: don't touch Nifty's nuts.
Well, if you're a premium subscriber, you might get a taste of these nuts.
Wow.
Maybe. I couldn't help myself.
That's okay. That's all right.
That's Nifty's special subscription.
Yeah, I can't wait till we have premium subscriptions. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and I mean, just to close this, because I think I'm stealing the mic too much. But if you really want downvotes, then you can pick and not upvote like before. Like, if you really think this doesn't deserve value, spend your upvotes as downvotes. Like, or are you just really downvoting because they are free and you are able to do whatever the fuck you want with them?
I think you hit the nail on the head that the adding the 2 free downvotes that's flawed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, and then people will say, "Oh, but nobody will use them because nobody wants to lose money." Okay, so then they are not that convinced, and then they are not that hero's journey where I just go over everyone's posts that I don't agree with and I will downvote them. No, you're just using them because you can and you want to feel powerful. But if those free downvotes were taken from you, will you really use them? And if you do, so much respect for you. Like, dude, that's great. But not for free.
Yep. Use your voting power up or down.
Exactly.
That is weird. Not trying to, pass that it's the downvoting drama, the never-ending drama on the Hive blockchain. Yeah, but like, this is what always confused me with the whole downvoting thing. Just like you said, Eric, value is totally subjective, 110,000% subjective. Task might see something of value. I don't sit there and go, well, Task is upvoting something of value. I don't think it's valuable. I'm going to downvote. To me, it's just like, I just won't read it. I won't engage with it. I'm not
Yeah, just
so
keep scrolling.
like everyone's so like the rewards pool. We got to protect it. We got to protect it. Is that really what it's about? Is it about protecting the
No.
rewards pool?
No.
I don't
It's a
think
power
it is.
trip.
Yeah.
Maybe over the years there were one or two people who really took a serious shot at it and would go after spam, would go after, certain things like that. Took on Hagen, who was just raping the rewards pool. But no, for the most part, they're driven by other factors.
It's just for me. It was
Things
just like
were better before the kidnapping.
Absolutely, man. We gotta rescue those people that are being kidnapped, man. Like,
but was it an alien kidnapping?
Probing. Oof.
Don't threaten me with
Well,
a good time.
you already brought up poking. I mean, good God. I mean, you want to poke everyone on hide.
If anyone's a lizard person, it's Zuckerberg. So started the poking. So
100%. I wrote a whole article about Zuck being a lizard person. Maybe it might have been 2 years ago. It's on my profile. Go look it up. It's hilarious. I even photoshopped a lizard tongue coming out of his mouth. It's hilarious. And the whole idea is that, like, it came to me. Maybe it was a fever dream. I don't know, but I was like imagining what it would be like to work at Facebook or Meta or whatever. And the Zuck is like slithering through the desks, like, how many people's data did you steal today? And he's like tasting the air with his weird lizard tongue. And then if they don't hit their metrics, he puts them in like metaverse hell, and he locks them in a room for like a week with a VR headset on.
There was a film with Stacy Keach where he was like some type of lizard. Do you remember that? Or maybe it was a My Camera episode. Stacy Keach, he was in some type of film and ended up doing that, and he was chasing insects, with the tongue. And
wasn't that the TV show V from the 80s?
No, not V. V was kind of weird too. But no, there was some type of film that he played just a real weird character, and he was half man, half lizard or something. And so it's nifty comparing. I was having flashbacks to that.
Yeah. What I do remember is that Black Mirror episode where the torture was to wear something that, like, or maybe I read this. I don't know. Like, you spend 1 second or 1 day or something within a virtual reality, and then you just spend 1,000 years in the void, doing nothing, going crazy, and then you just go back, and then you come back as somebody completely different, and like crazy. Like it's like this experiment where people say, "Oh yes, I could do it," but in reality, people don't last more than 3 days. But if you were to put yourself in a room with no outside, what's the word where things ping in your brain?
No communication,
stimulation.
Yeah, no outside stimulation, right? So it's a wide room, nothing there. You just get food from a tiny little thing in a white dish. The food is like bland, completely like non-stimulating. Nobody speaks with you. You have no books. You have no bed. You have nothing. You're naked. And if you could stay there for a month, then you could get $1 million, for example. And then people are like, yes, of course, I would do it. Yes, I would. But the thing is, after 3 days, people usually, without outside stimuli, you start hearing voices. You start imagining colors. You start picturing people and then speaking with them, because the brain goes crazy without stimulants. So some people did an experiment, and they had like 20 people. This was the Russian sleep deprivation experiment, where they did something similar to this, and people, all of them went crazy like 5 days after that, and they started to kill each other. They started to bang their heads to the wall, blah blah blah. And the truth is, we cannot go on without stimuli. But yeah, I don't know why I'm rambling so much about random topics. But yeah,
That's great.
The only part of that I was okay with would be being naked, but the whole rest of it, I would lose my mind completely. But imagine this: imagine like a what is the new generation? Gen Alpha, I think, is the new generation. Don't deprive them of everything. Just take away their cell phone for a second. They'll lose it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Rich in the comments said sensory deprivation. That's
sensory deprivation. Yeah,
that's the Scrabble words right there.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
it.
the one. Task: how long do you think you would last?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I'm perfectly content being alone. I spend most of my time alone, but what you're talking about, I watched an interview with Michael Francesi, the guy who used to be high in one of the New York mob families, and he did 27 months in solitary confinement.
Wow.
And he said that's torture. He said he is against solitary confinement. He says that is torture. He had nothing in there. He had a bed and a Bible and he could read, but he said, 27 months. He says you have, like you were saying, there's no outside stimulation. He got to go in the yard once a day or once a week and do a little exercise. So it's not quite to the degree you're talking about, but he said every day just runs into the next and you have no idea. I mean, he had no window, so you have no idea what time it is. You have nobody to speak to, nothing. 3 days, yeah, you're probably going to be talking to the walls, and you're probably within a week going to be seeing people who aren't there, and who knows what you're going to be doing, because it's like, how do you keep your mind occupied when you're just sitting in a concrete room on the floor with nothing there and nobody to talk to? I mean, your thoughts just keep running and running and running to the point where it's like, they have to take over. It's like, how do you even distinguish what's real and what's not?
I don't think you do at that point. I think your mind is going to create an environment that it thinks it needs to be in, and that's whether that's fake people walking around or hearing voices. Like, your mind is going to do something to create an environment that doesn't drive it completely insane. Maybe that is insane. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, normal people, they cannot go over 1 hour without the TV noise or the radio or their headphones or just something. Like, people cannot be with their thoughts for an hour.
No,
like, I enjoy silence. I enjoy being alone. My office is completely soundproof, and I don't have music. I'm like, it's always silence. Like, there's no noise. But 99% of the people, they can't. You need noise, because otherwise you are forced to speak to yourself. And when you speak to yourself, you start hearing things that you might not like. So I don't know. It's very weird, and it's very philosophical to talk about this, but it's a pretty interesting topic. And then it brings us back to people want to be distracted, so they need social media. So why would we get rid of the main junkie addiction people have, which is social media, right? I don't know.
It is an addiction. I mean, you look at people who put 5-6 hours into Facebook
or TikTok,
or TikTok, or Twitter, or whatever.
Straight brain rot. Like, TikTok is.
Whew, I think they call it doom scrolling.
Yeah. You're scrolling until you die. That's it. Eternal.
I mean, I've never used TikTok. Is there? I mean, at least on YouTube, you can find documentaries. You can find some decent videos. Is there anything intelligent on TikTok, or is it just people bitching and moaning about anything and everything?
I've never joined either.
I have an account, but my extent of TikTok usage is if a friend finds a funny video, they'll shoot me a TikTok link and I like watch it and that's it. No, I don't think there's anything intelligent there. I think it's 99% just people doing stupid dances and being complete degenerates and doing unhinged shit like breaking TVs in Walmart for views and like.
See, you're bringing up a point, Nifty, which I've heard espoused, and I think it's correct, and you guys can chime in on it. I think it's gotten to the point where there's so many people, and we'll just say a generation, although I don't think it's any age generation. I think it's just a group of people who they are so dependent on that validation that comes from all those likes on social media that to keep that going, they have to do more and more insane stuff and throw more stuff out there and bitch and moan about more stuff just so they can keep pushing the envelope further and further out so people keep liking it. And it gets to the point where you were talking about losing any connection to reality. It's like these people don't even realize. It's like, do you realize how fucking foolish you are? How stupid you are? Do you realize how dangerous what you're doing is? And it's like, they're putting it on TikTok. And I think they just need that validation. If they don't have it, it's like they'll go crazy.
Those likes, they give you that little dopamine rush, and you're like, oh man, I gotta go steal a car on TikTok so I can get more likes. It's like there were people actually doing this.
People
stealing
died
cars on TikTok.
There was a dude I read about, and I'm like, this motherfucker should not do this in some neighborhoods I've been in. This guy would just walk into houses.
Oh, yeah. That guy in the UK.
And like sit down and turn on the TV and act like he lived there. And, he was filming himself the whole time. And it's like, dude, you do that in this state. Somebody might like just pull out a gun and pop your ass. You walk in the house, they're just going to shoot you.
You did that where I grew up. You're not making it out of there. Like at all. There's no shot you're walking out of that place.
Yeah.
I don't know how that guy didn't get killed.
Because he was in the UK. He was in the UK.
Right?
Yeah, people aren't allowed to have guns or something like that. Is that the laws over there?
Yeah, I think you can.
But even still, if I don't have a gun,
baseball bat will hurt.
My house,
baseball bat hurts too, right?
I'm gonna find something. Something will do the job.
Yeah.
Even if it's a spoon, I'll make it work.
You guys want to dive into some questions here that
sure
were posed by the awesome members of the community? Yeah. We'll start it off. I'm down with the bottom. Sad Cry has a few. But he wants to know, question to Eric. You were involved in marketing Hive. What do you think the biggest challenge? I know that, but he said Hive. I'm guessing it's not Hive because we're not promoting a blockchain. We're promoting apps here, folks. But what do you think the biggest challenge in advocating Hive is to others? Why others do not get? Why don't people get what's being offered here?
It's very easy to define. It's incredibly hard to solve. Hive is not okay. So when cryptocurrency started, you had Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin works in a way, the blockchain works in a way, and then you have Ethereum, and Ethereum works in a different way. So you have the network that works like a tree, and the network that works like a palm tree. And then all of these other new blockchains, or 90% of the new blockchains, they took the seed of the palm tree and then planted their own seed with the same palm tree seed, and then they created their own network very similar to the palm tree. And then along came Dan and Ned and said, hey, let's plant rock. And then something came up that, and then you had a rock as a tree. So the Hive blockchain is incredibly different to Ethereum and to Bitcoin, and thus it's incredibly different to 90% of the blockchains out there. So you have MetaMask and you have Ledger and you have all of these DeFi trackers, and you have all of these games where they only need to focus on, hey, let's integrate Ethereum, and then to integrate Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, blah, 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 all of these blockchains, they just have to tweak the code a little bit. But to integrate Hive, it would be like, okay, now we need to come up with a way to support palm trees and all of the family of palm trees, and then a rock. So the technology of Hive, it's incredible, but it's so different that it's hard to integrate us. For example, if we wanted to get Hive, the native token, integrated to Uniswap, they would need millions of dollars of development hours to get that done. If we wanted to do that for Thorchain, millions of dollars. If we wanted to, it's hard. That's why, for example, Splinterlands, instead of integrating Hive into other blockchains and keeping on Hive their main thing, they just said, okay, we're going to support Hive and the other blockchains, and then you can pay with, I think they can pay with, the users can pay with Ethereum and I don't know, Nifty maybe.
Yeah, they have it where you can BNB, BSC chain. They have Wax integrated, so they became the integration. Splinterlands is the integration. They take from these other chains and move to Hive, and in and out.
Yeah, but it's a bridge. It's not an integration per se. Like, you cannot go to MetaMask and say, "Oh, I want to check my Hive blockchain holdings," because it's not the same. Yeah. So, but I mean, you are right. Like, they became the unification point. So the problem, and just to go to your question, the problem of marketing Hive is that you can tell them, hey, this rock is not really a rock. This is gold, and you can use it for this, and this. But the users only have tools to open up coconuts from the palm trees. They don't have a pickaxe, and to get the pickaxe, they have to research a fuck ton, and they have to learn a lot, and they have to get out of their comfort zone. And then when they see how much they have to learn and how much they have to do, they are like, oh, I would rather just stay with my palm tree family. So that's why NFTs go to Ethereum, and then it's easier to go to Solana, because as well, it's not a similar technology to Ethereum, but it's more similar. It's like as if their DNA shared a lot more with Ethereum than with Hive. So that's the main thing. We have amazing things, but to get adopted, we are like, I don't know, man. It would be.
We
so
don't
much
have
easier.
VC money.
Yeah.
We don't have VC money.
Exactly. If we had $1 billion, we could just say, yo, we're going to take care of all those integrations. Hey, MetaMask, here's the code. Just integrate it. And here's $10 million for your trouble. And then people would get adopted. Like Hive would get adopted so fast if we got all the integrations and all the technology and the dev hours that are needed to make Hive attractive for the average NFT drunkard user that just knows, that thinks that MetaMask is a wallet.
Well, this is the only reason that Solana is used anywhere at all. They have that VC money.
Exactly.
It's literally the only reason.
Yeah. So
and
that's
why Ethereum's used.
Exactly.
You guys brought something up. I think it was both of you, Task and Eric, on Chain Chatter, that literally spoke about why Hive will never get. The fact that we're in Binance is nothing but a small miracle. I guess they felt guilty for the whole Steam thing, but
pity listing.
Yeah, right. But it's like example. I tweeted this out earlier today because I had like $25 or something in Uphold from some BAT tokens they sent me for this stupid browser. I can't stand Brave anymore.
But I don't really use it anymore either.
I had it in Uphold, So I'm like, okay, and just to swap and uphold is stupid fees. It's ridiculous. But they brag that they have 260 tokens that you can flip around. So I'm scrolling, and I get to L for Litecoin. There it is. I go to H looking for no Hive. Like, is this going to be reality? Because Tass, you said this yesterday. Like, HBD will never get listed because it's decentralized. Like, the stablecoin brand of HBD will never be adopted by centralized exchanges. Is this a reason why something as open as Uphold is, and we love everybody, they haven't added Hive yet?
Well, I think the stable coin I was saying was going to come from regulation, at least in the U.S. and Europe. They're going to ban algo stable coins from centralized exchanges, and by extension, they're probably not going to touch Hive, just the Hive coin, because same thing. I think a lot of it comes down to the fact, to get on these exchanges, you have to write them a check for $150,000. Then they'll list you. And
if you're lucky,
if you're lucky, and it may be a bigger check to write, but they want to be paid, and Hive just, without that centralized entity, that centralized lab, that centralized money that says, hey, I mean, Block One could go out and pay these fees to all these different exchanges and get EOS listed, because Block One, raised $4 billion. They became a VC in and of themselves. And paid Gensler 20 million and rake in $4 billion. I mean, what a nice deal. So
that's a hot topic for Nifty, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So it's just, we have to accept the reality that we are the redheaded stepchildren that were orphaned and black sheep and every negative thing you can think of, but we do have the best thing going. And a lot of these other entities, whether you call them centralized labs, companies, chains, they're going to run into headwinds. They're not going to necessarily go away. They'll just end up being regulated. They'll be under control of the banking industry. They'll have to follow the banking licenses. And, it's like I always say, Hive can't even fill out the damn application. Okay, let's go get a base banking license from FINRA. Name, don't have one. Address, don't have one. Phone number, don't have one. I mean, who are you going to put down? It's just
Justin.
Justin.
Yeah.
Justin said.
Yeah.
Just put the headquarters of Tron.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why things that Cal is proposing, and I think Dan talks about it too, and Dan kind of picked up on it. I saw he bought a premium membership today. That's why getting these liquidity pools and talking about SIPs and getting some of this Hive and Leo into liquidity pools and permanent liquidity. These are very important topics, because then if you can get into these LPs on BSC, at least then you can branch out into other things, and you can get from Leo or get from Hive, go through the liquidity pool and get into, USDC or USDT or whatever the hell you want to use. But yeah, if you're going to hold your breath for HBD or Hive to be on Coinbase, you're going to turn many shades of purple.
Yeah, but we don't really want that. So sorry to barge in, but I mean, to me, I don't care if we don't get listed on Binance, Huobi, Poloniex, FTX, whatever. The thing is, we need to have DEXs. And the problem is the DEXs, they don't ask for money, they ask for volume, they ask for quantity. So if we were to be listed, let's just say in PancakeSwap, first of all, you cannot list Hive. You have to list Beehive or P-Hive, because all of these DEXs, as I said, they don't support rocks. They support palm trees and all of the palm tree family. And I was just checking, if you go to chainlist.org, you can check all of the EVM powered networks. And for those who don't know, EVM means Ethereum Virtual Machine. So all of these BNB, Arbitrum, Polygon, Avalanche, Optimism, Kronos,
They're all
the
EVM. Yeah.
yeah, all
All Ethereum.
EVM, and
Yeah.
you have thousands of them. So of course these dexes will focus on the EVMs instead of. And I shouldn't have used the rock analogy because Hive is not a rock; it's like gold. But I want it to be as different as possible between a seed and planting something else. But the the thing is, we are not going to get Hive listed. We have to get a synthetic asset and then promote it as the same thing. That's why Bitcoin has WBTC, BBTC, DBTC, blah blah blah, like that. Because Bitcoin is not compatible with everything else in the space, just like Hive. So if we really want to make Hive adopted, we need to give power to the synthetic assets. And the other one, we need to get fucking active in social media. Like, it's very hard to invite people to a blockchain where you go on Twitter and all the things they see about a blockchain is just people promoting their freshly made beans or arepas or chilaquiles. Like, no, people don't want to see your latest travel or your latest food recipe on Twitter. They want to hear about what the hell is happening on Hive. Like, we don't need to promote, like, promoting posts will not help you to get more rewards. I'm not gonna vote you. The whales don't use Twitter. Curation guilds, like, no, you're not helping yourself. You're not helping Hive. You're not helping anyone. And then you're just clogging the Hive tag. You're just you're hurting your visibility. It's hard to promote Hive and it's hard to show them how great Hive is because we don't even do it ourselves. So how do you want people to understand how great Hive is if I go ask someone else? I could ask 99% of people on Hive, hey, what kind of like, are we a proof of brain? Are we a decentralized proof of brain? Are we proof of work? Are we proof of beer? How many people do you think they can actually say that and like answer that correctly? And then if you go around and asking Solana, why is this centralized? They are the same kind of user. They are like, they don't get involved. But then if you go on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Thorchain, and you ask them, hey, I'm like this random user with 250 followers on Twitter. Hey, what's the key aspects of Thorchain? Oh, here's a thesis I wrote in 2019 and then I revised in 2022. Yeah. And dude, here's 3 podcasts I made. And so, dude, like, are we really the ambassadors that Hive deserves? And are we really using the DAO for the correct things? Imagine having $5 million saying, yo, whoever goes viral, make a podcast. Whoever goes viral gets $100,000. Can you imagine how many people studying Hive we would have? How many people learning, sharing, doing right things? Like, we would stop. Like, people say we have a problem of too many content creators and not enough content consumers. Yeah, because you reward content creation. If we start rewarding, I don't know, scientific level papers about why the Hive blockchain technology is better than the EVM and why all of these bozos using Polygon and blah 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 should make their Hive based machine or Hive virtual machine, and then we take over Ethereum, because the problem is Hive was at around not the same time, but was one of the first one. Steam was a top 3 blockchain, and Ethereum beat Steam to the adoption. But Steam could have been the what's the word, Nifty? Where you use this as a model for everything else.
Yeah, it could have been like the
norm,
the original,
yeah,
the what everything prototypes out of.
Exactly. Hive could have been that one, but Ethereum won the fight because Steam was run by bozos, by people who had no idea. Like one was a genius but was a schizo, and the other one was a complete clown. So the problem that was that. But imagine make a DHF proposal saying, "Hey, I want $5 million, and I want to make Hive go viral, and I want to like." You remember Utopian, right? When they had all of these rewards for development and all of this. Well, then let's do it for marketing. Like Leo has it right now with $250,000, and we're on a right track. But imagine if you open that for the community and say, "Hey, we are 10,000 bloggers. Stop blogging about food. Start blogging about why Ethereum compares and is dwarfed by Hive, and then go viral. Whoever goes viral and gets 100,000 views on Medium gets $1,000, or make a YouTube video. Whoever gets, or start a channel, an educational channel. Whoever gets to 100,000 followers gets $1,000,000."
Dude, you know why? Because no one thinks like that. And if you propose something like that, it makes total sense to me. It makes total sense to Task and Nifty. I'm sure people listening to this, I'm sure it makes tons of sense. But majority of the times, and this is actually a question about the DHF that was actually brought up. I'll ask it in a second here, but there's no transparency. There's no accountability. So someone just says, "Hey, I'm gonna go and do this. Give me a certain amount of money." Like if you saw that proposal, I know I'd vote for it because I know the power of something like that. But most people that can, it just won't happen. I mean, I wish it could. Dude, I feel the pain, man. Yeah. I really do. I don't see that happening because.
Or get rid of the reward pool for interactions on chain, and then say, "Okay, we have." I have no idea. Task, maybe you do, but let's say that you print 20,000 Hive a day. Instead of giving them to authors who do nothing on Hive, who do nothing for Hive outside of Hive, they might do a lot inside of Hive, but take 50% of that and say, "Okay, this author just posts every day. Okay, he comments a lot, he engages, he runs a curation guild. Nice. So 50% of this reward pool will go to this kind of people, and the other 50% will go to a stack or to a side DAO where you can reward all of these people who instead of shouting to the void to our 17 users, go outside and start creating viral TikToks about, oh no, Google turned off my account. What am I going to do? Oh, dude, you should just use Hive." And going viral. Yeah. Imagine 1 million people watching that, from a cute girl or from a nerdy, likable guy. In no time, we would get adopted.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. And here's the problem. I'm going to disagree with everything that rant was said for the last 15 minutes. Because marketing 101, if you're marketing shit, I don't care how good your marketing is, you still got shit. And that's the problem. I love Hive, but let's be honest. I went to 3Speak the other day. Why? I wanted to find Dan's recording of his spaces. I knew what I was looking for. I couldn't find it on there. I went to Peak D and entered his profile name because I knew it was there. I knew where to look. 3Speak, I use it all the time. But let's be honest. There's no search. You can't find anything on there. You go to threads. We have like 1,700 threads a day, maybe. That's threads and comments. There's no activity. And most of them are people either posting their articles, their posts, or their dinner. Like you said, the food, here's my dinner. Here's a flower that I saw. Great, wonderful. That's what's there. So now you bring people over. You want to bring all these people over. You have the ease of use or the lack of ease of use issue. You have the learning of this entire system. And for what? For 1,500 threads a day, and threads is probably the most active part of this ecosystem there
It
is.
is. Yeah.
And you look at it, and even people within Hive have said it's crap. There's nothing there, and it's probably true. And
But that's chicken and egg.
I said,
yeah, it's chicken and egg.
I said this to you about something else, Eric. When I step back, the activity of certain things goes to shit. Now I know I'm over the top with my activity. I have a lot of hours a day to dedicate, but all of a sudden I pull back. It's like 400 threads a day goes away. What are the total threads? You got 15 minutes in between threads sometimes. And that's my point. Now you'll see all these people over on Twitter, 5,000 Hive, 5,000 tweets related to Hive. Plus, and you had all the comments and all the interaction that these people do. It's probably 50, 75, 100,000 tweeted related stuff. Imagine if that was on Threads. Imagine if you had that activity, and then all of a sudden people show up and it's like, holy shit, what's going on here? Every 3 seconds, every half a second, there's a new thread. All of a sudden people are talking about all kinds of different stuff, and the food pictures and here's my latest post, it's wonderful threads get buried instantly. All of a sudden you get debates about politics. All of a sudden you get news about Hamas and Israel. All of a sudden you get posts, I hate Putin and he's a scumbag. You know, you get all this different stuff. You get how the Bills really suck, but they're still better than the Giants, which they are. You know, you get all this activity, but you're out there promoting, and I tip my hat to you. You know, the problem is the product you're promoting is not there yet. It's still flawed. Like we were talking about before, Nifty says, you know, that's geeky stuff. Well, guess what? The geeky stuff has to take place before the rest of us can participate. And right now, the geeky stuff isn't there. You know, Threads, Leo needs a lot more with its UI. And I would say its UI is ahead of most everybody else, at least in terms of the diversity of what it offers in terms of long form and the threads. Free Speak, somebody needs to fork that sucker and really work on a serious video application, because they are working on Speak Network. The app itself is overlooked. There's no search. How do you find content? And I know Leo built the entire in Leo to make this possible, and that's a lot of work, and that's the infrastructure you need. And that's where we're at. So when you start to sit there and say, well, let's get something that goes viral, okay, wonderful. Now you get all these people over to Hive, they take a look at it and they say, okay, I read those blogs. All these blogs suck because people write 150 words, and that's what's on the trending page. Then you go and you see all this stuff about, you know, you go to Threads and you see all these food pics and you see all these, you know, all this other stuff. And it like, there's nothing there. It's like, where's my news? I mean, how many times have I said, people post news. That's what people use Twitter for. That's how they get their news. If you see something, post even a headline from a magazine, from an article, from, you know, post something from Twitter. Post something about the latest going on. Joe Biden fell again. Write about it. Mitch McConnell fell asleep again. Write about it. You know, write about these fossils. Write about whatever. But you don't see that. It's like, oh, well, we don't, you know, here's my latest, you know, whatever. And it's like, come on, people. And so that's really where, until you get that to the point where the people who are here start to take the initiative of what are we going to do to build this place, instead of just throwing up a picture of whatever and saying, okay, upvote it, which fine. If you put up a serious pic, I have no problem upvoting your pic. I mean, you know, it's content. You know, I have no problem when people post videos and things of that nature. I mean, you can do that. Wonderful. Get some multimedia going. I mean, it doesn't all have to be text, but, you know, at a certain point in time, nobody ever says, from all these marketing gurus that I hear talking about, it's like, well, maybe the product that we're trying to promote needs a little work. And maybe what happens if we get all these people who rush over and sign up for Hive accounts? What do they see? A thread feed that hasn't moved in 10 minutes? What do they see? A bunch of trending topics or trending posts that average 175 words that look like they were written by a third grader? I mean, that's what we got. So, you know, I just think that it's time for everybody to up their game. And until you get people taking what's on chain serious, it doesn't matter what you do on social media. You're just feeding people into a dumpster fire.
Here's the thing. While I agree with that, we are 1,700 users in Leo, and we are like 1,200 in Threads. Daily, we are like 300. I don't know. I haven't run the numbers, but if someone goes viral, that number goes to 5,000 in one day, and they will reshape what Threads is. Right now, we're seeing this because we are very few people all day, every day. But if just one person manages to go viral, and all of a sudden, in 1 hour, we have 10,000 signups, and they start poking around and they start saying, "Hello, world. Hey, yo, what's this?" One talks about porn, the other one talks about. In one day, you can make one ecosystem flourish. So yes, Task, I agree that we need to work on what we have, but just one influencer, let's just say.
How many influencers have we had over on Hive all these years?
Yes, but dude, they promote Hive the wrong way. How many influencers have not mentioned rewards? All of them do, because all of them they're just like to. They had an influencer talk about them, not because of a commission, just because the influencer was looking for content to talk about, to get their $100 for per day. So they decided, oh, here's like to, and then their message was like to the app that pays you for your pictures. And then like to got like 3 times their user base in a day. A Venezuelan influencer with a couple thousand followers, subscribers on YouTube, and the snowball effect that caused, like to went to almost 2,000 monthly active users. It went down after a couple of months because people were sold with the wrong value proposition or the wrong message. But if you do it the right way, and you just get 10,000, like, we don't need a lot of users. We just need a solid user base to work with and make 2,000 of them stay. Don't you think it would reshape how Hive and Leo work?
You want to know what to reshape Hive and Leo? Having stuff on chain that people want to read. That's a resource. Hive's a database. Hive's a text database. And you look at what's been built here, and I've been talking about this for 2.5 years at least. In fact, it got to the point I talked about so much nobody did it. Okay, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And you start to build a database of stuff people want to read, an information center, a resource. Then you will have people coming back. Then you will have a retention. I told Cal years ago, get crypto pricing, get stock market pricing. Why do people go to CoinGecko? Because they have the price. Now, there may be financial limitations to that. So I'm not holding that against Cal, but it's the point. How many sites do we go to a day looking for an update on something particular? You go and look at your crypto pricing. You look at your coin, your stock pricing, your bond pricing. You maybe go to a site for your headline news. You go to a site for, the latest birthday information, whose famous birthday is today. Whatever it is, people go to all these different sites that they make them reference centers. That's what you need on Hive. How many people go to IMDb every day? How many people go to Rotten Tomatoes every day? How many people go to Wikipedia every day? How many people go to Investopedia every day? How many people go to thousands of other sites that are of the similar mindset? NFL football reference, baseball reference, hockey reference, which has the stats, basketball reference of all the professional sports teams. I'm sure they're out there for the EPL and everything else. This is stuff that you could build on Hive, yet nobody does. It's like That's what people say. Well, you don't reward the readers. Does YouTube reward the viewers? Does Twitter reward the readers? Does Medium reward the readers? No. But yet people show up each day on those places and they still watch the videos. I go to YouTube, I watch the videos of people I follow. Why? They're not paying me, because I like the content, because I find the content to be informative. Usually I take their content and make my own videos or write my own articles, but that's where I get ideas. But that's the point. And so everybody says, well, we have to reward the readers. No, you have to write shit that people want to read and use it as a database of stuff people want. And I don't care whether it's for affiliate marketing. I don't care whether it's a reference database for tutorials on photography. I don't care whether it's about sports, whether it's statistics. There's so many things that people are interested in. Game and poker. What did you do? Oh, chess. You're a chess man. What about databases about chess? And that could be easily built into Leo and Leo glossary and done with a glossary. And then you could expand onto that into different areas of chess. I mean, all of this stuff out there, video games, I mean, they all have followings. Get that stuff onto Hive. Get that stuff in. And I understand it's only a text database, but at least that text is there. And you know what? People start using it. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because guess what? The clicks are already going to go through, are already starting to be repeated. Why? Because somebody goes to Leo Glossary for cryptocurrency. There's another page view. Now, I wrote a post 6 months ago. There's a good chance that that post is buried forever. I don't care how good it was, what it was about. People are not going to find it. There's no search. Maybe it shows up in a search engine, maybe not. But you know what? Cryptocurrency, that keeps getting hit. That page keeps getting hit every day. What is Hive keeps getting hit every single day. It's not 10,000 hits like you're talking about, Eric, and I would love to see that, but it's getting hits every day. That's the difference. And, when you have stuff that just disappears into the abyss, which all these articles do. Nifty said, I wrote this article a couple years ago about this. It's pretty funny about Zuckerberg. It's like, yeah, good luck finding that one. I mean, no offense to Nifty, but it's like, I'd love to.
Good luck writing my username.
What's that?
Good luck writing my username.
Yeah, well, okay, that's another thing. I mean, even if I want to go read it, he told me about this article. How much of a pain in the ass is it going to be to find that article? Even if his username was just Nifty. I mean, it's impossible. So this is where I disagree with everybody. We have a problem with the quality of content. And I'm not saying quality in terms of the reward. I'm saying quality in terms of, is it shit people actually want to read? Is it shit that people educate? I don't care. Here's one I said. How about a site? How about using the database for recipes? Now, for those who are into cooking or baking or anything like that, you start putting recipes up there. I know people have done it, but what if you had 100,000 recipes that were searchable on Hive? Would that get some interest? Yeah, because now all those people out on Twitter or Facebook talking about recipes saying, look at this wonderful recipe I found. And you know what? They dropped the link, and it's peakd/wonderful recipe for applesauce or whatever. Boom, there it is. And now you got Peak D as a reference point for that and that author. These are the basic things that I think need to be done. And, without the technology, we have to use the technology we're here, unless you have the tech capabilities to build otherwise. So what I do is I just say, okay, I have the ability to use this as a text database. That's what I'm going to use it for. And over time, I'm going to build enough shit in here that it all comes together, that there's stuff for people to read. There's stuff for people to make it a reference center. And you know what? I know 95% of Hive isn't going to lift a finger. 95% of Leo isn't going to lift a finger to help out. But, when I get that 3 to 5% who will, and I already got a couple people working on it, then we'll just keep growing and growing and growing. Django just pointed on me because I don't know whether he agrees or disagrees with my statistics. It keeps getting smaller, Django. Dude. 2 months, I'm going to be at 1%. 99% don't.
But that's the numbers you're always going to deal with. No matter what platform, no matter what, and this I agree with you, and I agree with Eric here, but I'm going to highlight what Eric said. That's
what are you,
really
a fucking
important.
politician agreeing with both sides?
No, I'm Switzerland here, man. I'm
Switzerland.
You are Canadian. You can't make up a choice.
Like to piggyback off what he said.
This is the chicken and the egg thing. This is a problem with the majority. The only difference between, say, Twitter and Hive is amount of users. That's it. Like, yeah, there's technology behind it, and yes, we need better search, all that. I'm just talking about the argument is that we need better content. Even Rich put it in the comments there. I agree. The majority of the content in Twitter and YouTube even is awful. It's absolute horrendous stuff. 99% of it, well, you'll never even know it exists because the algorithms won't show it to you because they know it sucks because there's so many users. So what Eric's saying is that if we have a blast of users, the content quality goes up almost overnight. I've seen this happen with things I've been involved in. Yes, the tech has to be better. The search, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah, but Django, see, you're talking about social media content, and I agree with you. What I'm talking about is a referencer. And I'm not talking about 70% of Hive doing this, because I know 70% of Hive won't do this. But what I'm talking about is people who are here, who are interested in Hive, building databases that are referencers. A reference page is a lot different. And if you notice, all Leo glossary pages turn down rewards. No rewards. They're rejected. They turn them down. This is not about, built in the reward pool. This is not about the reward. This is about building a database, a glossary, a reference center, which can get readers, which can get people to Leo, because it all goes through the Leo UI. Now, obviously, Leo has developed another revenue system, but this is a totally different discussion than, oh, well, Django's not doing quality enough posts. That's subjective. That's garbage. That's a totally different story. That's up to Django. That's up to each reader. A lot of people value Django's stuff and say this is high quality stuff. Some Pulitzer Prize people look at Django's stuff and say this sucks. That doesn't matter. That's opinion. What I'm talking about is, do you have a database of recipes? Do you have a database of all your NFL stats? Do you have a database? Do you have stock prices? Do you have corporate earnings? Do you have any of this stuff that people look at as an information center? Because that's what we have, is a decentralized database. And I don't expect 100% of the people to do it. I don't expect the majority of people to do it. But some people need to take the initiative to start putting together stuff that will actually make these sites destinations for people, because they want to go to a place because they learned something, because they find out more information, because the information's updated, because somebody is going back through the pages and adding more to them. And you know what? The Wikipedia model, I have pointed it out on thousands of occasions, because it is the granddaddy of them all. It works. You can hate Wikipedia all you want, and it's valid, but guess what? They are one of the largest sites for a reason. And they make a lot of bank, I'm sure. They have a lot of people involved in it. And I don't agree with their politics. I don't agree with a lot of stuff they post up there. But guess what they're doing? They're feeding the AI. Guess what you think ChatGPT and them, do you think you don't want to know where they get most of their stuff? From Wikipedia. So, I mean, it just comes back to the basics of this is a decentralized database. And until people start treating it as such and saying, and I'm not saying move away from the social media. I'm far from that. I'm saying
there has to be both, though. You can't just turn it into a database. Not everybody gives a fuck about just a database. I hate to interrupt you there, but there's got to be some level of lighthearted social side to it. Just a database is cool. I say all the time, we need music here. We need video here. We do. Absolutely. And we need, sections where people can go to find those. But the other side of that is too, we do need those people just, saying GM or whatever, posting whatever, because not everybody is going to use this this thing we have is just a resource for knowledge. Like people want to interact. People want to.
Let me ask you, Nifty, what percentage of the internet users do you think have used Wikipedia?
I couldn't even.
At least half.
At least, probably half. Yeah.
We'll say Western users.
For sure.
Okay, half. There you have it. Yeah. Now we know 95% of social media, 98%, 99% of social media is the fun, the food pictures, the on thought. And I don't expect people on social media to put out Pulitzer Prize winning stuff. I don't really care that 99% of YouTube is just garbage. I understand that. I understand that, people look at my videos and say they're not edited, they're garbage. Fine. I mean, that's totally subjective. And I don't have a problem with anybody looking at my stuff and saying he doesn't edit it, he doesn't insert anything into it. These are not high quality videos. That's fine. And that's the subjectivity. I'm not going to comment on pro or con on your post and what you put as quality, not quality. I'm not going to comment pro and con on your threads as quality or not quality, because that's entirely subjective. And there is a room for a lot of that. We do need a lot of that. We do need the social media. But the other side of it is, and we have a fair bit of that, but the other side of it is, Eric said, well, what about the readers? What about retention? And he mentioned Like-It-To. And Like-It-To went viral. And it got a lot of people. And then 2 months later, they were gone. There you have it. They're gone. Why? Yeah. And he said it was because of rewards, and probably so. I mean, that we know that's from day one. It's been sold. Come to Hive and earn $10,000 on your first 3 posts. We know that bullshit. But the point I'm making is, here's something that I'm doing and others can do. Others could be a part of it. And it's not even about the rewards. The rewards are even declined. And that's what's going to enhance the utility. That's what's going to enhance, I hope, Leo.io or inleo.io. Hope that enhances their page clicks. Hope it enhances the search engine rankings. Hope it enhances the number of page views that take place each day. It's going to take time to build, but what if 25 or 30 projects were going on like that? That's not 1,500 people like Eric said are here each and every month. I'm just talking 25 or 30 people working on projects like that to something that's of their interest. And I don't know what your interest is. You said music. Well, we're also doing some stuff with music, and music databases are great. And that's something that people love. And you set up a page with music about an artist or about a song, and then there's a YouTube video of the song. Boom, there it is, all wrapped up in one for you. I mean, these are little things that could start to get our own user base interested, our own people on Hive interested. Because let's be honest, how many people use Hive for anything other than posting their stuff and then they're gone? Other than Threads. Threads does well with the interaction. But for the most part, people come and log on to their Hive account. They put up their Like-It-To posts. They put up their Peak D posts. They put up their Sh&t posts. Then they're gone. Their history. If they use Waves, I guess, on Sh&t. If they use Threads, they may stick around a little longer, and those two are revolutionary in terms of engagement. But outside of that, people post their stuff and they leave.
Well, also, I mean, to bring it back to the social side, I keep going to this because I do agree that there needs to be a database section, and there needs to be these areas where people can go. Obviously, we need that. That brings in clicks. That brings in users from outside, just like with the stuff you're building with Leo Glossary. But Tokenized Society said in the Threadcast, take a look at the top 8 trending tags in Leo. There's literally one that I would click on ever. I mean,
I can't read them. What are they? Read them off.
Yeah, you got My Diary, Ladies of Hive, Leo, LPUD, Hive, Alive and Thriving, Crypto, and LPUD. The only one that I would ever consider clicking on is Crypto. Oh, and you know what I'm going to find when I get there? Stuff about Hive. Yeah, so,
or people's blog posts that they use the crypto tag.
Yeah, a link to their blog post. So, yes, we need the database side. We need to build out these hubs where people can come and find recipes and whatever, statistics, whatever they want to find. But we also, as users and as a small group of users, we need to bring the social side to life because it's dead. 1,500 threads a day is cool, but they're just like, hey, I went to the store today, or like, hey, like whatever. Bring it to life. Post some music, something.
How many times have you seen me use just a YouTube video with the music tag? Now it gets buried, like you said, and it doesn't take a whole lot. It takes like 50 or 60 to get on trending. But because of it, everybody's using my diary, or everybody's using the In Leo tag, or just.
I don't give a fuck about your diary. I'm sorry. It's not my diary.
Either. Yeah.
Like,
I agree with you. I agree 1,000%. I'm all for posting YouTube videos on comedy. I was posting some old Rodney Dangerfield clips the other night, music, stuff like that. We need multimedia on there, but and I don't mean to try to denigrate the social media side. I mean, I've probably in one of the top 2 or 3 threaders in terms of total number of threads done since that opened. So I agree with that. I agree with more activity. I agree with more engagement. I agree with throwing up a song and 10 people saying, Nifty, that song sucks.
Yeah,
great.
I don't care
Throw
what you
up
say.
that song and 10 people think it sucks. 10 people telling Nifty it's great. And then Nifty and those 10 people can argue for a half hour. Wonderful. I think that's terrific. But again, if I go and post 25 songs a day, okay, there's 25 songs. I can get stuff on trending. I've gotten stuff to trend on my own. So has Wealth West. He's gotten stuff to trend on his own. You can go neurotic and spend your day and get stuff on trending. And know what? It does nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
EPL, we have a lot of Europeans. We have a lot of EPL fans. And he was posting stuff about the EPL and soccer, or excuse me, football for you non-Americans. And what happened? He was the only one doing it. I mean, so, it's like you can say the chicken or the egg, but it's like, okay, neither side are people stepping up. And they say how much they love this place. They love this place because they throw up a post and then they leave.
Oh, I love Hive. Give me votes. Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Oh, this post is great. Look at my post. Give me votes. Blah, blah, blah.
And Django loves when I do this because I've gotten real blunt over the years about it. And people piss and moan. I say that they're not getting recognized. What do I say, Django?
500 comments.
Go drop 500 comments over the next week, then come back and talk to me. That was before threads. Now it's like, go drop 500 threads. Go drop 100 threads in a day, and people realize. I saw this. I saw a guy. He actually commented in one of my posts, I think it was. But anyway, somewhere, maybe it was somebody else's post, but I was reading his comment, and he said, "Well, I use Waves because I don't get any engagement over on threads." And I'm like, I'm on there all the time, and I've never seen any of your shit on threads. It's like drop 40 threads. I mean, you can't drop stuff on threads in any significant number and me not see it. Okay, maybe if you do it one over the night, but now with the For You, you'll probably end up on my feed somewhere. So, I mean, it's individual responsibility. And, you can talk about trying to get the numbers up, but until people take the individual responsibility, I think you're going to end up, we just keep chasing our tail. In 3 years, it's the same thing. It's like same conversation, same topics. And it's like, well, what's somebody doing to change it? We just need one thing to break through. Yeah, we do need one thing to break through. But we've had things break through and the retention sucks. Why does the retention suck? Because some of these people show up, they throw up a blog post and they get no comments. They throw up a thread and say, I'm new here, and nobody says anything. Although that's kind of rare, but that was kind of the mindset. And, I would agree if we just tell people about the rewards, that that's a failure, because the second they don't get rewards, they say this place is a scam and leave. But, it starts inside, in my opinion. It starts with what we have here and what we have to work with. And we'd love more tech. We'd love better search. We'd love this capability and that capability. And people are working on it. I don't have a problem with the devs on Hive. And now I'm being like Eric, and I'm going on a rant and monopolizing the conversation. But it gets to the point where people have to look in the mirror. And, if you expect me to feel sorry for you, and I'm not speaking to anybody on the panel, I'm really not speaking to anybody who's listening, because most of these people are active and do their part. But anybody who's bitching, I have no sympathy for them, because it's like, when I look at your profile and I see the activity you did, you don't show, it doesn't scream dedication. Now, if you're one who's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes because you're a developer or something like that, okay, that's fine. Eric, I don't have to look at his profile to know his dedication. I know he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and he's all over the place. He's doing a lot of different things. So I don't really even care what his profile page looks like, because that's not indicative of the effort he's putting in and the dedication. There are a lot of people like that. But there's a lot of people who aren't doing anything on the back end of things. So what are you doing on the front end? Look in the mirror. That's my point.
Yeah.
Preach.
Tokenized. Yeah. I hope you haven't passed out. Tokenized loves when I go on a rant. For some reason, he enjoys that. So does Bradley. Bradley will appreciate this tomorrow.
Sunseek has definitely taken part in the conversations on the Threadcast.
Oh, yeah.
She's there. She said, yeah, Web 2 users don't do anything for the platforms. The platforms serve them everything, ready to consume, and no brain power needed to be used.
Well, and that's a valid point. I mean, we have to work in that direction, because let's be honest, you're not going to change the masses. So you have to dumb it down. You have to serve it up to them on a platter, because that's what they're accustomed to. I'm willing to give 3 speak time to free up the resources so they can address their UI. But I know the masses aren't. They're not going to do that. They're going to look at this. And I mean, hell, I watched one guy, John, you'll appreciate this. I watched one guy, and he understands YouTube is going to censor him, and they demonetize some of his videos if he uses certain words, and he has to censor his words. And he's a big guy who uses Rumble, and he does some live streams on Rumble and all that other stuff. And he says, I understand the search over there stinks. Hopefully they'll update it soon. And I'm like thinking to myself, we have such a long way to go to get up to Rumble's search capabilities. And he's saying it sucks, because he's comparing it to YouTube, which has had 15 years to develop, or 20 years. I don't expect that, but I don't know. Maybe I have unrealistic expectations.
No, it's just, I think that, again, like all of these and this is beating a dead horse here. All of these problems, I think, are solved with users. Like every single problem we've ever encountered on Hive, and sure, there's a lot of hiccups. There's the onboarding; it's a little confusing. Like Eric was mentioning earlier, it's kind of like a rock and a palm tree seed. Like it's good. It's different tech for a lot of people that are even familiar with crypto. But this is the thing I've noticed. It's think back to any of these social media platforms, and I'm talking social media now. I'm just talking social media side of things. Any of these applications that have kind of like appeared and become a thing, this is usually what happens. It starts generating buzz, and then all of your friends go there. And if your friends are there, that's where you end up going. The problem why there's people, we had an influx of people in like to, and then they didn't stick around, is because their friends didn't stick around. Their friends weren't here. So you can have 1,200 active people on Leo. If those 1,200 people's aunt and uncle and grandma and sister and cousins and friends aren't there too, they'll leave, regardless of rewards. They're not going to stick around.
Here's my argument against all of this. I've heard it for 3 years. I've watched it for 3 years. The Hive Army, or the Twitter Army, the Hive Army on Twitter is still there. And it's like the proof's in the pudding, people. You're pissing in the wind. The network effect is infallible. The network effect is not a 1-for-1 ratio. So if you get one new user, you add one new node, it impacts the other nodes. It, statistically speaking, is of greater impact than that one person. You know what also is how that works? It's the same thing in reverse. You take one away from social media, that's not a 1-for-1 loss. It's a greater than 1 loss because they affect all the other nodes. It's just like people taking their money out of the banking system, saying, I will not support the banks with my money. They put it in crypto, yet they'll put up 50 tweets a day. They'll sit on social media, on Discord, they'll sit on Twitter, they'll sit on wherever and support Web 2 all day. And it's like, it's the same thing. It's the same mindset. It's the same mechanism. And those social media apps, John, that took off, they didn't do that by saying, we got to go on these social media apps and pull users over. They had a hook. Do you think a hook is, okay, if you're lucky enough to get a Hive account because it's a pain in the ass, you better learn what this key system is. And if you don't know what the key system is, good luck because there's no password. And then if you figure all that out, you can come here, post your content to get rewards, unless you're downvoted. And the content that's here isn't really worth reading. And you go to this thing called microblogging, which is like Twitter, but you're going to see pictures of people's food. And if you put up a post, no matter how good it is, nobody's going to engage with it. I mean, this is a pretty tough selling point. And by the way, not only bring yourself, but bring your friends and family. I mean, you know, and we can't search anything. We can't find anything. This is really what happens. If you want to get a kick-ass application, and I think Leo has this capability. I believe in Leo. I believe in the development. I believe in people like Eric and people who are working on this project day and night. And that's why I'm looking at building on Leo and not on other UIs, is because we have the capability of developing something kick-ass. And kick-ass means a lot of activity. Just what Nifty's saying. I agree with Nifty that it doesn't have to be brain surgery stuff. This isn't Pulitzer Prize winning stuff when you're putting a thread up. But if we have tags that people are interested in, if we have tags, I mean, I was on X today, and one of the things I saw was Richard Hart was trending. Now, I don't know what the deal was that kicked that off. I didn't click on it because I really wasn't that curious.
His latest scam kicked off.
yeah. Well,
his latest scam.
Yeah, that's what it is. But you know, at least that was an interesting trending.
I would have clicked on that immediately.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with Nifty. We need better trending tags, and we don't. I mean, it could be goofy stuff. I mean, I don't care if memes are trending. I mean, memes are pretty funny, pretty cool. People get creative.
I'm so happy you brought up beans. I'll go ahead, but I got to come back to beans.
Memes.
Oh, memes. I thought you said beans. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about beans for? But I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay, well, we could do beans. Beans could be a good tag too. But the point is, if we had so many threads a day and the activity was kicking and that thing is going like some of the threadcasts get going like during the AMA where you can't even keep up, guess what? Somebody else just joins and looks at it and says, there's a lot going on here. And John, you've watched this over the years. What FOMO is usually used with markets, but what with money and stocks and stuff. But what is FOMO when you have an app that everybody wants to be a piece of it?
Dude, the greatest success I ever had in building businesses online is when it was active. And the more active it was, the more people felt like they were missing out if they weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hook. And I mean, you know, what brings that? Because like you said, there's a whole lot of check marks that are just like, oh my gosh, I need to learn about keys. There's no forgot password thing. There's these things called downvotes. What is a whale? Like decentralization, do I even care about that? Like there's so many reasons why someone will just say, that's really complicated. I'm going to go hang out in TikTok.
But if they have the FOMO and it's like, this is what I got to learn to be a part of the cool kids club and
they'll learn.
They'll fucking learn it.
They'll learn. Guaranteed they will because they don't want to miss out. So that's why, circling back to what Eric said, you just need one. I've heard They Call Me Dan talk about this too over the years. You just need one. You need one blowhard to get up on their platform and say, Hive is great. We love it. Floodgates. Then people will learn. Then you'll get all sorts of this stuff. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't know.
Most of it's not going to stick, but at least you get some activity, and then maybe you get some people interested because there is activity.
Attrition's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, I don't. What. Yeah, but 3 years we have not gotten one. Now we've had a lot of.
I know. Because every time we've had one, we scare them off, or there's something that fights with someone, or a downvote war, or there's certain gifts that are flung out there. Like it's just.
Yeah, anybody remember Friend Tech?
We're our own worst enemy. I'm not gonna say that we're not. Yeah. I mean, a lot of our wounds are self-inflicted.
I hate to bring this up, but does anybody remember Friend Tech?
Friend Tech,
like this was years ago. Friend Tech. I mean, this was like a month ago.
That was just hot, like 6 months ago.
I mean, it was like a month ago.
A month ago, yeah.
Where is it? It's dead.
Dead.
Oh.
Did.
Oh yeah,
but it was the hottest thing.
Well, what about noise cache and noise?
Yeah. So it was the hottest thing on Twitter for the longest time. Well, the longest time in crypto and Web3. Like a few seconds is a long time. Let's be real. We're on the interstellar water planet. Like 7 seconds is like 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my point is like it was the hottest thing, and everybody had to be on Friend Tech. If you weren't on Friend Tech, you weren't shit. But you go there now. I logged in today, actually, because I was curious. I was like, why is no one talking about this anymore? It's dead. Like, there was never anything to begin with, but it's even more dead now because, well, like we keep saying, there was no substance. There was no content. It was a pump and dump thing. Like, there's no content to go there for. There's nothing there.
All right.
Stars Arena, there's nothing there. It's a circle jerk thing.
Arena. Jeez.
Yeah, it got brought back to life for the 17th time, and for some fucking reason, people still go there. But I had to do it, so you didn't have to. There's nothing there.
I know. I saw a few of your tweets where you just let it die. Like you're.
Just let it die. Stop. There's nothing there to keep alive.
And you know what, Nifty, you bring up a great point, and I'm going to go on the opposite side of my rant and go with the optimism. This is the great thing about what we have here. It's not dying. Leo is not dying. Hive is not dying. A lot of these apps that are here are not dying. We may be a little stalled out, but I can guarantee you, and Cal did put out a thread, he's going to be releasing it in the near future some of his plans. He has his Grandmaster plan that's like 10,000 pages, but he's going to release, whatever, a portion of that. I know this guy's looking forward. I know Eric's looking forward. I know I'm looking forward. Nifty's working on his project. I know he's looking forward. John, we got to get you out of that fucking job. But anyway, that's another story. So I don't believe
please,
for a second that
any way possible. Thank you.
Start using the GM Friends tag.
Leo is not going away. Leo is not going to die. Leo is not going to be a Friend Tech. Leo is not going to be any of these others because there's enough people here who are going to give everything they have and then some to make sure it doesn't end up on the scrap heap like the rest of them. So that's the baseline we're working from. The difference is instead of whatever that number is, 25 people, we need that to increase. And we need a lot of people who say, I'm a lion. I love Leo. Okay, good. Double your effort. These people say, I have to do my 10 tweets a day, my 10 threads a day. You got to set a goal of 10 threads. I mean, you better be a very busy person with a very hectic schedule, like trying to raise 6 kids, have 2 wives, work 3 jobs, and, run your local, be on your church board or something. Because, I mean, 10 threads, you could do that in, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
If that. I mean, it's so, that's just the starting point. And there's a lot of us who put everything into it. How many others are not? And, here's the other thing then, I'll shut up. What's going to happen is those of us who are putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, we're going to end up with the lion's share of the money. And then everybody will be pissing and moaning. How come these people have so much? How come these Leo whales, they were lucky? Oh, lucky. John goes buying 100 Leo a day, and he's been doing it for months and months and months consistently. He doesn't miss a day, whatever that. He's buying 100 Leo a day. And you're going to call him lucky?
I did 150 today because I needed to step up my game to get to my 100K.
I'm going to beat him to 100K.
No, see, that's the thing. Nifty started smack talking me last night, and he's like, I'm going to beat you to 100K.
Sorry to interrupt.
There you go. See, these guys are racing to 100K. What are you racing towards? And Eric, I mean, I don't know all that Eric does, but I know he doesn't sit around twiddle his thumb. He's doing a lot of shit for Leo, and you know what? He's going to benefit. I believe that. And I have no idea what's in his wallet. I don't look in his wallet. I have no idea how much Leo he's holding, but whatever Leo he's holding, he's working towards $10 Leo like the rest of us. He's trying to push it to $10.
Okay.
I need $100,000 Leo.
He wants 100,000 Leo. He's nifty. He's gonna get $100,000 Leo. Then he's gonna buy the southwest U.S. back for Mexico.
He's gonna buy Texas back.
Yeah. He's just gonna buy Texas and say, "Get out of here, you Americans! Leave." Just gonna buy.
That's half of the U.S.
I mean, with $10 Leo, life would be completely different. I mean, I have like 250,000 Leo, so yeah.
Do you ever see? I love that. I love hearing that because I'm sitting there all cocky, like top 30 rich list on Leo and stuff, and then I hear something like that, and I'm like, I'm pathetic. I love it. It actually inspires me, man. It really does. I like it.
And
Nifty,
you know what?
we got work to do, man.
We got work to do. I didn't know this was going to turn into a dick measuring contest.
If I don't care how much Leo you have, if you want to feel bad about yourself, follow One Alpha and his thread.
Well, yeah, but dude, I mean, you know,
he
goes
no
through.
Way like we're talking about regular people here.
I mean, to have that amount, like I wouldn't even feel like if the total supply or the circulating supply is 17 million, and this guy has like what? 1,200,000, something like that, maybe even more. Like, I don't know, man. Like, why? Just sell a bit. I mean,
why?
Right?
It's like, I don't know, man. Dude,
like don't forget, one Alpha was the guy who got like, you know, a bazillion Ethereum at like $6, and So I mean, it's hard to argue. The guy finds something he likes, and he goes in big, and he holds it and holds it and holds it, and doesn't care how long it takes to come to fruition. And by the way, Eric, if you're looking for him to sell, he said, "When's the best time to sell Leo? Never." So,
oh man,
you just hurt my soul bringing up $6 Ethereum. Ooh.
I have a feeling One Alpha is going to be one of the users of the Leo lending platform where we can take our Leo and get loans against it, because I don't think that guy's going to sell.
My problem is I can't stop dabbling in Rune and you know, cross chain stuff. My problem is like this cross chain stuff is hot on my radar because I don't fuck with banks. I don't like centralized exchanges. So I'm like, this cross-chain swap stuff is like 90% of my portfolio at this point.
Dude,
in Minecraft.
Talks about Rune,
I have crypto.
Except for Task.
Don't come at me, IRS.
To the IRS who's listening, Nifty's not even American, so don't worry.
Yeah, I'm in Bermuda.
Yeah. Bahamas.
The heart of the Bermuda Triangle is my domain.
Right in the middle of it. Yeah, in the ocean.
He speaks perfect Mexican, so
yeah.
That is important for living in Bermuda.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this the cross blockchain swap stuff is really intriguing to me. I mean, I know Cal has been talking about Thorchain forever, and you know, I started playing with Thorchain, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and recently got into some other stuff, and there's going to be a couple more new platforms coming up that support things like Monero, and I'm a big supporter of Monero. You know, I like my privacy.
Well, Django and I keep it simple. We just like don't stray too much from Hive because
Dude,
we
it's
get
it's
confused.
Yeah,
it's my
Hive, but
blessing and my curse, man. It's like if I feel like the captain of the Titanic, man. If I'm going down, I'm going down. If we get to New York, we're going to New York. You know.
Well, I feel that way about Leo. I'm going
Oh,
going
same,
big
dude.
or go home. And with Leo,
Same.
it's
Mhm.
I'm with Eric. I think whatever amount of Leo you get, there could be some very big numbers for Leo, which you do the math at, $5, $8, $10. It turns into some pretty nice numbers, no matter where you live. And I mean, that's the perspective I have. And that's why I go on these rants, because it's like, it comes back to what Eric said earlier. It's easy to identify, but since it's easy to identify, most people kind of overlook it. They don't realize that the solution, or part of the solution to their financial problems, might be right in front of them in Leo. I mean, I believe it is, but that's just one person's advice. Django, do we have any other questions, or are they just making fun of us?
No, everyone's just making fun of us, man. But it's
I see a question in our StreamYard chat. It looks like it's from Facebook, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name.
That's Arta Kush, man. That's the Daily Legend, man.
Asks if I've heard of KMD. Is that Komodo? Komodo? I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it. I'm more focused on Thorchain and Maya Protocol lately because of their security and the way their platforms, manage liquidity and that kind of thing. So I don't know anything about it, but now that you brought it up, it brings it back to my memory, because I think a few years ago it was pretty hot.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. I never looked at it. I don't know what was that. Was that part of an EVM and riding on the EVMs? I don't even know what Komodo was involved with.
It's been like 87 years since then in crypto terms.
Everything is an EVM.
And you got like 8,000 tokens we've heard over the years.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Dude.
What's the latest in the Threadcast, Django? What are they saying? What are they just talking amongst themselves, or?
Yeah. Well, Sunseek is still around watching. I thank you for hanging out. Like, she's just an absolute legend. She said if Leo gets the $10 with my little stake, and I can already buy a house. See, that's the thing. That's beautiful stuff, man. If Leo got the $10, I could buy a house.
Yeah, and that's why you hold. That's why you buy, you post, you power up, you create curation rewards. You try not to use this for daily chat, so that in 5 years you change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get why people in general in Hive. I mean, well, I do get why, but why would you sell your rewards? Like, I do get them out of my main account just so that the OG police of the Hive ecosystem that doesn't like people who power down, I take them out so that I put it in an anonymous account, so I can do whatever I want with that. Sell when it goes low, buy when it goes up, stuff like that. But you don't want to get rid neither of your Hive or your Leo or even your HBD at these current markets. Like, you want to use your HBD to buy tokens, to buy Hive, to buy Leo, not to buy beer.
Well,
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
It is beer 30, sir. I will spend my HBD how I choose. But I get your point.
So yeah, hopefully you can buy a house. Hopefully I can buy northern Mexico,
Texas.
And that's what he was referring to.
Didn't even call it Texas.
You look at it like American. That's what Mexicans call Texas, northern Mexico.
This is the thing, man. We all have these goals and dreams we want. I just want to get back to working like at this all the time. It's like today I didn't have to work, and I felt more productive today making a couple of infographics, doing some stuff for our programs, and like, holy crap, man. It's just like that's what I'm working for. Just like you said, Eric, it's like 5 years down the road, that's the goal. The goal is to, to live off of this stuff and actually set yourself up forever. So yeah, I'm no offense, Nifty. I'm not buying beer with this stuff. I'm literally taking some of the rewards and I'm buying more Leo. I mean, that's
neither is Nifty. Nifty will not spend HBD on anything other than cocaine.
Well, I don't like cocaine. But here's the thing. What I do with HBD is I usually lock it in savings and take the little APR, not HPR. That's funny. I take the HPR and, I take out my HBD and then I move it to different chains and I use it to make other investments. And then eventually I move that value back so I can get more Leo, so I can get more Hive. At the end of the day, those are the assets I really care about, because in 5 years, maybe I will be able to afford maybe a whole case of beer and not just one beer. You have to have goals.
I do have a question for Eric, and maybe not release the inside info, but in general terms, what was the LPUD like yesterday?
I honestly haven't checked because today all day I was crying in bed because the fever came back. But I do know that we went over 200,000 Leo, which is more than the monthly inflation.
What's our record?
Oh, the record is too much, man. It's 538,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I actually wanted to go for that one. I told Cal, hey, we should go for the record. And then I checked the record, and it was like, dude, we are never going to go for the record. So,
that's a good problem to have.
Maybe you know this. Roughly, what would you guess the liquid Leo is? If it's about 17 million total, do you have any idea? There used to be that little chart.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Without counting the splitter lens assets, which are liquid, I don't know why, but they are not moving anytime soon. I think there's like 2 million liquid Leo, I would say. Maybe even less. Maybe I would say 1.5.
Yeah, because isn't like 78 or 80% of Leo staked anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I think it's like 7%, 5%. But without the splitter lens one, it could be like 3, maybe 4%. I don't know. I would have to run numbers. I actually get a new computer today, so I need to set that up because the one that I have right now, it doesn't run databases anymore. I cannot stream. I cannot record. You could see my camera right now. So I'm gonna run numbers.
The bouncing video is pretty cool. I think it adds to it.
It does.
Brings it to life.
Some personality, right?
It is. It's unique to you, man. That's good.
It's kind of like something you'd see in a Poltergeist movie or something.
Yeah, or The Ring, like that girl coming out of the screen and stuff. It's great. Yeah, I like it.
The Ring girl, guys.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, man. Because I got my wife is like, it's dinner time and it's like 8:30 here. So yeah, but what a show, man. I mean, dude, this is epic. We got to do more of these. And this is the Town Hall Witness Team. So, shameless self-promotion. If you're not yet voting for Town Hall.
We did start the show with Nifty giving a server update. So we're running nodes. We're getting into infrastructure. And by the way, self-promotion, I don't even know if it's part of Town Hall. It kind of is. It's an extension. But tomorrow is This Week in Hive, Spaces, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They call me Dan. We'll be on. We are going to continue the conversation about HBD. We are going to talk a little bit about HBD sustainability with the interest rate and some of the things that come into play there. So, and of course, it is a space. So anybody wants to come on, if they want to talk about that topic, or if they have other projects that they know about, we like to get the updates like Nifty gave an update last week about his project. So we like updates on that. That's what the project is designed, or the show is designed for, to spread information about Hive among the community members.
Heck yeah.
Tomorrow.
Heck yeah. If I'm
I
not
want to
working,
answer
I will
one
be
last question. Sorry, I know we're ending it,
Yeah,
but
man.
I want to answer one more question. Tokenized Society asked, I don't remember the exact question. He said, "LOL beans, where is this heading?" And when I thought Task said beans, I stopped for a second because I was like, this is so funny because I just launched a shitcoin on Maya Protocol called Beans. And I was like, oh man, beans. So if you use Maya, drop your Maya address to me and I'll send you some beans.
Oh,
There's no use case, there's no utility. It's a shitcoin. Get some beans. Beans is the future.
But by the way, if you send me your Hive username, I'll send you some. What was it? BTC MYK, the bit.
Yeah. BTC Nick. Yes. A billion of them. Yes.
A billion.
Yeah, a billion of them. Big shout out to one.
I'll send you 1 million of them.
Jeez. Guys, have a great night. Toodles. Thanks to everyone. Tokenized, Sunseeker, Forex, Arthur Kush in Facebook, our sole Facebook viewer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's been awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Yeah.